Kemi knew the slap was coming before it even landed. She had seen it in the way Chinya's jaw tightened, in the way his nostrils flared. His right hand twitched, and before she could step back, the sting of his palm crashed against her cheek. Her head snapped to the side, and for a brief moment, the room spun. She didn't cry. Not this time. She pressed her lips together, tasting blood from where her teeth had cut into the inside of her mouth. The pain was sharp, but it was nothing compared to the pain inside her chest, the one that never left. Chinya towered over her, his breath reeking of alcohol and frustration. I have told you, Kemi, respect is not in your people's blood. A Yoruba woman will never humble herself before her husband. Kemi said nothing. What was there to say? Hadn't she heard this 1,000 times before? Every insult, every slap, every angry word thrown at her like a spear. He always blamed her tribe, as if her Yoruba blood made her rebellious. As if she deserved this. She had believed in love once. She had believed in Chinya. When they met in Lagos, he was different. He was kind, soft-spoken, full of dreams. He had promised her a good life, a happy home, children who would speak both Igbo and Yoruba and know the beauty of both cultures. Tribe doesn't matter, he had told her. Love is enough. But love had turned to bitterness. At first, the fights were small. Kemi, why do you greet elders the Yoruba way? In my land, a wife kneels for her husband. She had laughed then, thinking he was joking. But the first time she refused to kneel for him in public, he had grabbed her wrist so tight it left a bruise. Then came the accusations. You Yoruba women are too stubborn. You think because you are educated, you can talk back at me. And then, the violence. Now, as she stood in their small apartment in Onitsha, with the flickering bulb casting shadows on the cracked walls, she realized something. She was tired. Tired of shrinking herself to fit into his expectations. Tired of making excuses for him. Tired of waiting for a change that would never come. She touched her swollen cheek lightly, her fingers tracing the pain. You will not touch me again, she said softly. Chinya froze. She had never said those words before. Never stood her ground like this. His lips parted, his eyes flashing with something unreadable. He raised his hand again, but this time, she didn't flinch. Slowly, she reached under the chair and brought out the calabash she had hidden there. It was cracked down the middle, held together by weak glue. She had spent the whole afternoon staring at it, thinking about how much it reminded her of their marriage. Without breaking eye contact, she dropped the calabash onto the floor. It shattered into pieces. Chinya stared at it, confused. Kemi took a deep breath. The same way this calabash can never be whole again, we two can never be. She turned, picked up her small bag, and walked to the door. Her legs shook, her heart pounded, but she didn't stop. Kemi, come back here. Chinya's voice was loud, angry, but there was fear underneath. She didn't look back. For the first time in years, she was choosing herself. And this time, she wasn't coming back.